Hey, it's Chris, Gadgets and Gravel. So I got a video today on a camera. It's right up this tree here. It's the Reolink TrackMix LTE. This thing's really cool. So it's LTE, so it means you don't have to have Wi-Fi. So that's why this one is sitting where it's at, and it's pointing at my chicken coops. We've had some issues recently with some animals getting and stealing our chickens. We have no idea what's going on, how they're even getting in there, so we thought we'd give it a shot. Here, let me you guys take a peek at the ducks. Come over to say hi. So this LTE model means that we can have it away from our Wi-Fi and still be able to get the coverage we need to have. It's a 4K camera with ultra high definition. It's a dual lens setup. So we've got an optical zoom and a digital zoom. So it means when it does zoom in, you're gonna get clear pictures. I'll go through all these features and a little bit in the app here in just a minute, but I just wanna kind of give you an overview. So with the LTE, so it's got a SIM card and you can set it up on just a planned directly through Reolink, depending on what kind of data you need. So if you're gonna do a lot of live stream, you want a higher data cap than a lower. So that is an option with it, as well as a micro SD card slot to do local storage. So this thing really can be a complete all-in-one on its own camera system. So you can set up anywhere that's your cell coverage. So it's really great. So let's get into deeper into some of the features we have here. Talk a little about the camera app and some of the things that I'm not a big fan of and I think could be a little bit better. So stick around.
Okay, let's go.
Now, while they did send me this camera for testing, they're gonna get no input on the video contents, my opinions on it, or see this before you, so it's all fresh to them just like it is to you. Like I said, this is the Reolink TrackMix LTE 4K camera. They do have a Wi-Fi version of it, but the LTE one is really unique, and the reason I wanted to test that is because living in rural Kansas, out in the country, Wi-Fi is generally pretty slow, and you got wide spaces you're trying to cover with this. Now, in my particular situation, cellular coverage isn't great either, but I've got enough coverage here that I've been able to do some testing on this camera, and it's really impressive at what it's able to do. So out of the box, you get mounting hardware, so you're gonna get a bracket to mount to your house. It also comes with a strap, so you can wrap around a pole or a tree or something like that to keep from damaging the tree. You're gonna get a USB-C cable, and then that's pretty much it, the camera. The camera itself's nothing special in terms of design. It's basic white. It is relatively heavy because it does have a 5100 milliamp hour battery in it, which you can charge with the included USB-C cable, or you can purchase separately their solar panel, which they did send to me as well. That comes with the same mounting hardware and strap that you would have for the camera. So you plug the solar panel directly in the camera, it keeps it charged up indefinitely. You can see mine is not in a prime location. I strapped it to a tree to keep an eye on our old grain bins that we use for chicken coops and keep our ducks in. So we're having animals getting snatched up. We wanted to see what was going on, how it was happening. So I stuck this on the tree. It's been working great. The tree had to take some modifications to make it work, and the solar panel is not in a great location, but it has kept the thing above 90% with no troubles whatsoever. So it's great as far as that goes. Now, other terms of design, so you've got dual antennas on it to help with the reception for the LTE signal. So in terms of that, you can use any prepaid service. Now, Reolink recommends if you're in the US to use T-Mobile. If you're outside the US and Europe or something like that, you can use Vodafone, EE, Orange. They've got a list of different carriers, but just make sure you use the data only plan and you should be good to go. So you've got the SIM card slot for it. It does come with a micro SD card slot, so you can do local storage on it as well as cloud storage if you would like. The local storage will support up to 512 gigabyte of micro SD card storage, so that's going to give you a lot of storage, a lot of videos on it, so you shouldn't have any troubles there. You've got dual lenses. You've got a fixed zoom lens and you got a wide angle lens. Both of those are on a pan and tilt lens, pan and tilt system. So you get great coverage across the space and you got up to 4K resolution for your video. Now with the zoom and the pan and tilt and all those things, you can coordinate all that in the app, which we'll cover in a second. But it'll be able to track things, like I said, animals, vehicles, people, and it'll be able to track them across the movement in an area. So that's really nice too. In terms of night vision, it does have IR, so you can get about infrared will get you about up to 100 feet of range with IR. That's gonna be your black and white. But it does also come with a spotlight that can be turned on all the time or only turned on in motion, and that's gonna turn on, and it is super bright. It's up to 450 lumens and it covers a wide area, and when that thing turns on, you get great night vision, color night vision on this. So I'll drop some video in there or some samples so you can kind of see what that looks like, but it's done really well as far as that goes. Outside of that, it's a pretty basic looking camera. It's got good features, got a good range of motion in terms of the pan and tilt options, and yeah, let's see what this thing can do in the app. Your security camera is only as good as the app that runs it, right? If you can't use the app and it doesn't save the stuff and it's hard to use, camera's not gonna do much good because you can't see what's on it. So Reolink's got a pretty good app. It's relatively simple to use. There's not a whole lot of extra menus and clicks you got to go through to get what you want. So once you get the camera, you're going to go to the app and set it up. You'll scan the QR code on it. It'll go through and get it all set up. Reolink does a good job of securing their cameras in terms of people being able to access it on your own network and different cameras or different devices in your own home. Each camera has to be added to a device individually, so you either have to scan the QR code or be able to access it through the network and its IP address. So once you get it added, you're gonna scan the QR code, add it to your app, and then it's on from managing it from there. So I will drop. Sorry, thought somebody was here. Got a camera notification. All right, we're gonna put the screenshot up over here so you can kind of see what's going on in the app. And in here, so when you load it up, you're gonna have what your view is from the start. So you can see on the screen, we've got two different feeds on here. And this is going to be the fixed, or the zoom lens and the wide angle lens. So you can see both of those. On that, you can pause, you can click on the mute icon to see if they hear the sound that's going on. You can snap a picture, start a recording manually, and go full screen. You also got push to talk because this does have a microphone and a speaker in it, so you've got that as well. PTZ is going to be your pan tilt zoom, so you can move this around, move the camera to where you want it to look at. So that's a really handy feature. It's really easy to use and take care of all that. We have got playback, so that is where you're going to jump in and see the history and any videos that have motion that the camera's detected. So that's in your playback. So you can go through and it lays it all across the timeline. Like I said, my signal here is not great, so it does take me a little bit long to load. So if you're in an area where you don't have great coverage as far as cellular coverage goes, it may take you a minute to get things to load up. But you can see down here, it shows you a timeline. You can drop into the calendar and select all of your events from that way as well. So you got cloud events. Across the top, you can initiate an alarm. So you can sound the alarm manually. If you hop on your camera or you get a notification there's something going on, you can jump on there and sound the alarm manually if you want. That's really nice, as well as the spotlight. So you can also turn that on and off as you want. Use it just as a light for your patio or light up in areas you're working, so you can do that as well. So in the settings, all right, so jump into settings. In here, so you can see your battery. So you can see right now mine is at 97%, and it gives you a gauge of how the battery has performed over the last 30 days. And so you can see here, like it's rarely dipped under. The start here, at 80%, that's when I first got the camera. So since then, it's done a great job of staying charged up and being ready to go. Display just kind of shows you, is going to jump in. Like I said, it's going to take a while to load this up on here, but display is what you're going to kind of see what's on the screen in terms of what the camera shows, and you can adjust where things are, different icons, things like that. Sounds is where you're going to be able to change your alarm and recording sounds. Lights is where you set up the nighttime and spotlight, so you can set that up. I have mine set up to smart night mode, so it isn't on all the time with the spotlight. It just comes on when something gets detected. You get adjustments for brightness. Also have the same with infrared lights. You can adjust that as well and set that up. PIR motion sensor. So this is when it detects motion. So I've got mine set at high because I want to make sure it catches any small animals that happen to be sneaking by that potentially are harming my chickens and ducks. So I've got that set up on high. Let's see, we got detection alarms. So this is as it says. So you can set up detection zones, areas that you want to have specific notifications. So people are always in a certain area and you want to make sure that doesn't get it gets excluded, or you want to make sure you're watching an area that people commonly walk through. You can set that up, and you do that both for all the different categories you can see there. You got object size, so you can adjust how big the object is that you're watching for. So it's really nice that they give you all those options within the app to set these things up. So it's really nice as far as the amount of detail and customization you get for your detection settings. Notifications, you can set all that up as well as far as how you want your notifications, emails, and all that good stuff. If you want to share the camera to somebody else to have them help monitor, you've got that as well. So that's pretty much it in the app. There's not a lot going on, but you have all the functions and features that you need to properly manage your app and make sure everything gets taken care of and that things are safe that need to be kept safe. So let's move on to what I think could be improved on this thing. The parts I'd like to see improved on the Reolink TrackMix LTE, it's a relatively short list. The camera does well, it does what it needs to do. The only things that I think could be improved with it is the notification or the detection system. So like I said, I've got it set up on high, and I've got it just the whole area. I don't have any specific areas that I'm watching because I don't know where these animals are coming from. So I just wanted to notify me if any motion is detected in an entire area. Now, I don't know if this is an issue with a signal situation, or if it is a camera software, or the animals aren't big enough and it doesn't catch the smaller animals. I don't know. But there have been times when I know there's been motion out in front of the camera in the evening. Whether it's my kids came home, we got home late from one of my kids' events and we had to go lock up the animals, and it's in the evening, it's 8, 9 o'clock at night, and there'll be no coverage on the camera, no notifications, no events, no motions, no anything past 7 o'clock in the evening when I know there was somebody there. So it isn't all the time. I want to make that clear. There are times when it gets plenty of notifications and does a great job. So there are blips in there. So what caused that? I don't know. Outside of that, the camera's been great. It's held up. The one thing I do want to mention is, so this is IP65 water and dust resistant, so it is good for that. However, the temperature range, so it works up to 113 degrees Fahrenheit and down to 14 degrees Fahrenheit. While that is cold, in Kansas and many other parts of the US, it's going to get a lot colder than that. So it's going to have operational issues if you live in an environment where it gets really cold in the wintertime. So this may not be a great wintertime camera depending on where you live. Outside of that, it's been good. Let's wrap this up. So Reolink TrackMix LTE. The camera's nice. It's got tons of features. It's well built. The functions work as advertised, minus the few blips I've had of notifications, or not notifications, but motion detection issues. But otherwise, it's great. Like it holds battery well. Even for my area where I've got terrible cell coverage, I've got it stuck in a tree. You know, it's still getting enough signal that I can jump in and check on it when I need to. It's been good. So I highly recommend checking this out. Make sure it's going to work for your situation. Like I said, if you live in an area where it gets cold often, or really cold, below 14 degrees Fahrenheit, this may be an issue for you in wintertime, but outside of that, it should be good to go. Summertime could be an issue also, though, if you live in an area where it gets really hot. 113 degrees, it's max temp, so if it's somewhere where it's in the direct sun, it could have issues there as well. So keep those things in mind. This is all having to do with the battery, so you gotta be careful with the batteries. Make sure these things don't overheat or freeze. So check this out. I'll have a link down below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to try and help you out best I can. Stick around, I got tons more videos, so make sure you subscribe, like. It really helps out the channel if you can. Lots of stuff coming up on more security cameras. I got some stuff from Eufy. I've got Yarbo coming up. I've got a new one from Motion, a robot lawnmower. I've got robot vacuums. I got tons of stuff on the way, so stick around. Looks forward to seeing the next one.
Okay, let's go.